Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going through the second variant for paper 2. This is Cambridge Olevel Maths and this is for October-November 2025. In this video, we'll see how this paper was easy or difficult compared to the first variant and how we can easily solve questions without using the calculator. So let's start with this. So we have our list of formulas. And the first question says Ruth records the color of each of 24 cars. So we have red, blue, silver, gray, and white. So we have to complete the frequency table. So for the tally frequency, what we're going to do is we're going to see how many blue cars are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and for the fifth one, you cross it out. And then if it's the sixth one, you start another one. So for gray, it's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. For red, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for silver, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And lastly, for white, it's 1 and 2. So that's your answer. Then draw a bar chart to show this information in the table. Complete the scale on the frequency axis. So to show the bar chart, we have 5 blue. So for the scale, we can say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can use this scale. So we draw one bar with the height of 5 for blue. Please draw this using a ruler with straight lines. Then for gray, it's 3. Then for red, it's 6. For silver, it's 8. And then for white, it's 2. So that's your bar chart. Then work out 0.78 minus 0.2. So write it as column subtraction. Decimal comes underneath the decimal. Whenever we're adding, subtracting, the decimal will always come underneath the decimal. So add a 0 over here. 8 minus 0 is 8. 7 minus 2 is 5. Decimal comes down as it is. And 0 minus 0 is 0. So that's how you subtract decimals. When we're multiplying negative integers, the answer is always positive. When you're multiplying a positive and a negative integer, the answer will always be negative. So over here, we're multiplying negative 8 with negative 5. That's going to be positive 40. It becomes positive. It doesn't remain negative. Then ABCD is a parallelogram. E is a point on AB and EC equals to BC. Angle ECB is 40 degrees and angle DEC is 60 degrees. We have to find the value of x. So if these two lengths are equal, we can find these angles. So for that, it's going to be CEB equals to 180 minus 40 divided by 2. Sum of angles in a triangle is equal to 180. So we subtract 40 from 180, which gives us 140, and then divide it by 2 because we have two equal angles. So that's 70. So this is 70 and this is also 70. Now we can easily find this angle because AEB is a straight line. So angle AED is 180 minus 60 minus 70. Angles on a straight line always add up to 180. So 70 plus 60 plus this angle adds up to 180. So that's going to be 50 because 60 plus 70 is 130. 180 minus 130 is 50 degrees. Now we have to find the value of x. We know that AEB is parallel to DC with the parallelogram, which means alternate angles are equal. So this angle is equal to this angle. And similarly, this one is equal to this one. In parallel lines, alternate angles are equal to 70 and this angle is alternate, 50 and this angle are alternate. So we have these angles now. So x is going to be equal to this angle because in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So that's going to be 70 minus 50, and that's 20 degrees. So x is 20 degrees. Then Petra thinks of a number and the number is a multiple of 7. Petra says when I write my number correct to the nearest 10, it is 30. Find the number that Petra thinks of. So if it's a multiple of 7 and it rounds up to 30, it's going to be 28 because 28 is a multiple of 7 and when you round it correct to the nearest 10, it becomes a 30. Then write these numbers in order of size starting with the smallest. So we need to convert them in the same format, either convert them as fractions, percentages, or decimals. I'm going to convert them as percentages. To convert anything into percentage, you have to times it by 100. So 0.8 times 100 is going to be 80%. 17 over 20 times 100 is going to be 0 gets cancelled out. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we have 17 times 5. That's 85. So that's 85%. This is 84.5% already. So 7 over 9. 7 over 9 times 100. So if we divide 7 by 9, point decimal, 9 times 7 is 63. 70 minus 63 is 7, again 0. So it's going to be 0.7 recurring because it's going to be the same thing. So 0.7 recurring times 100 is going to be 77.7%. It's recurring decimal. So smallest over here is 7 over 9. Then we have 0.8. Then we have 84.5%. And then lastly, 17 over 20. Remember to convert them into the same format first. It can be decimals, fractions, or percentages. Once you have them in the same format, then compare them. And when you're writing the final answer, write the original values, not the converted ones. Then solve 6x minus 3 equals to 4x plus 9. So this is solving equation when you have variables on both sides of the equal to sign. So for this, we collect the like terms first. 4x can go over here and negative 3 can go over here. So it becomes 6x minus 4x and 9 plus 3. When you move a term from one side to the other side, it changes its sign. So if it's positive, it becomes negative, and if it's negative, it becomes positive. So that's 2x equals to 12, and x is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Then write down the inequality represented on the number line. The circle is drawn at 3, and the circle is unshaded. So that means it's not going to be equal to something. Now the arrow is going towards the right-hand side, which means the values are increasing. So it's going to be x is greater than 3. It's not greater than equal to 3 because the circle is unshaded. That means 3 is not included in the range of values. So since the values are going towards the right-hand side, its x is greater than 3. Then solve the inequality. X minus 2 is less than 7. So we take the 2 to the other side, it becomes plus 2. So x is less than 9. When you're talking about solving inequalities, like linear inequalities, the solving part is the same as solving a linear equation. The only difference is that instead of an equal to sign, we have an inequality now. Then point A and B are plotted on the grid. Write on the coordinates of point A. So we can see that x is negative 2, and y is 1. Coordinates are ordered pairs, so you always write the x value first and then the y value. So -2 and 1. The coordinates of point C are p, -1, and the gradient of the line BC is -2. Find the value of p. So gradient has the formula of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So -2 equals to -1 minus coordinates of B are 4 and 3. So -3 divided by p minus 4. y2 was -1, x2 was p. y1 was 3, x1 was 4. So -2 times p minus 4 equals to -4. We cross multiply to get to the fraction. P minus 4 is -4 divided by -2, which is 2. So P is going to be 2 plus 4, and that's 6. P equals to 6. Then AB and BC are two sides of the parallelogram ABCD. Find the coordinates of point D. So let's label C first. That's 6, -1. That's C. So D is going to be somewhere over here, and since the parallelogram, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. I think over here. I think over here. Yep. This is going to be D over here. Because over here we can see that it makes a parallelogram. We just saw what the slope is for AB. It's the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the rise is 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2. So the coordinates of D are going to be 0, 3. That is your answer. Then Sarah has a bag containing 60 red counters, 72 blue counters, and 36 green counters. Find the ratio of red is to blue is to green counters in the bag. So 60 is to 72 is to 36. All of them come in the 6 times table. So we divide it by 6. That gives us 10, 12, and 6. All these three come in the 2 times table. That's 5 is to 6 is to 3. We're trying to simplify a ratio. Remember that you have to identify which number divides all of the numbers in the ratio. That's how you will simplify it. Otherwise, there's no way of simplifying it. Then Sunil has a bag containing yellow counters and white counters. The ratio of yellow counters to white counters is 5 is to 8. There are 18 more white counters than yellow counters. Work out the number of yellow counters and white counters. So for this, yellow counters are 5 over 13x. To create a fraction from a ratio, we add all of the numbers, and that becomes the denominator of the fraction, and the numerator is the number assigned to that thing in the ratio. Similarly, white is 8 over 13 of x, x being the total counters. We don't know what that is. So there are 18 more white counters than yellow counters. So that means 8 over 13x minus 5 over 13x equals to 18. Because when you subtract the number of white counters and yellow counters, there will be more white counters. So 8x minus 5x is 3x. X is going to be 18 times 13 divided by 3. We know 18 and 3 come in the same times table. 3 ones are 3, 3 6 are 18. So now 6 times 13 is going to be 78. So total counts are 78. Yellow are going to be 5 over 13 times 78. 78 divided by 13 is 6. So that's 30 for yellow. And for white, it's going to be 8 times 6, which is 48. So we have 30 yellow counters and 48 white counters. Then work out one whole number 2 over 5 divided by 3 over 10. So we're dividing two fractions. One is a mixed number and the other is a proper fraction. So we always convert the mixed number into an improper fraction first. So for that, you multiply the denominator by the whole number, add the result to the numerator. 5 ones are 5 plus 2, 7. 7 over 5 divided by 3 over 10. Now when we're dividing fractions, we keep the first fraction as it is, change the division into times, and flip the second fraction. So keep the first fraction, change division into times, and flip the second fraction. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10. So 7 times 2 over 3, 14 over 3. They want the answer as the mixed number in simplest form. So to convert an improper fraction to a mixed number, you divide the numerator by the denominator. 3 fours are 12. So it's going to be 4 whole number 2 over 3. That is your mixed number in simplified form. Then we have transformation of shapes. Shape A and shape B are drawn on the grid. Describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. Since the place of the shape has changed, but the direction is the same, that means it's a translation. There is no change in the size, there is no change in the direction, only the placement of the shape has changed. So it's translation. So that's the first thing you write. Now we have to identify the translation vector. So translation vector tells you how the shape has moved, like, how many is to the right or left, up or down. So you pick two corresponding points. This one is 2, 3, and this is -3 and -1. So if we compare, we're going from A to B. It's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 places to the left. So 5 to the left. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 down. So the translation vector is -5 and -4. If it's going to the left, it's going to be negative. If it's going down, it's also going to be negative. It's going to the right and up, it's going to be positive. So translation by the vector -5, -4. Always remember that the top value is your x value and the bottom value is your y value. So the horizontal movement, which is shown by the x value, is written at the top, and the vertical movement, which is shown by the y value, is written at the bottom. Then draw the image of shape A after rotation of 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. That is your center of rotation. So 90 degrees clockwise is going to be in this direction. So if the shape is like this and you're rotating it in this direction, it's going to be like this. This is your 90 degrees. So to understand where the shape is going to come, you look at a point on the original shape and see its vertical and horizontal distance from the center of rotation. So we can see that's 1 unit over here and 2 units vertically. So 1 horizontal, 2 vertical. So when you're rotating 90 degrees, you swap the horizontal and vertical distance. So now it's going to be 2 horizontally, 1 vertically. So this is where this point is going to be. Then this one is going to be right next to it over here. This one is going to come over here. And that one is going to be over here. That's your rotated image of shape A. We just moved it 90 degrees clockwise. And for the coordinates of the new shape, you take the coordinates on the original shape and then you swap your horizontal and vertical distance. So once again, for the yellow point, it was 1 horizontally, 2 vertically. Now it's going to be 2 horizontally and 1 vertically. So like that, you swap the horizontal and vertical distance of a point from the center of rotation, and then you mark your points for the new shape. Then Lucas has these two fair spinners. Lucas spins both spinners and adds the two numbers to find his score. Complete the sample space diagram to show all of the possible scores. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 4 is 5, 1 plus 6, 7, 1 plus 8, 9. 1 plus 2, 3, 1 plus 4, 5, 1 plus 6, 7, 1 plus 8, 9. 3 plus 4, 7, 3 plus 6, 9, 3 plus 8, 11. Find the probability that Lucas' score is greater than 10. So for it to be greater than 10, 1, 2, 3 scores. So there are 16 scores in total. So 3 out of 16 is the probability of Lucas scoring more than 10. Then Lucas spins spinner 8 twice. He now multiplies the two numbers to find his score. Find the probability that his score is greater than 30. So if he's multiplying them, so since he's spinning spinner 8 twice, so let's draw another table over here with just spinner A values. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 twos are 4. 2 fours are 8, 12, 16, 8, 16, 24, 32, 12, 24, 36, 48, 16, 32, 48, 64. So we have to select the scores which are greater than 30. And we have these 6 scores. So it's going to be 6 out of 16. That's the probability of Lucas scoring greater than 30 if he's spinning spinner 8 twice and multiplying the scores. Then Thomas works in a shop. He's paid $12 for each hour he works. He's also paid a bonus of 5% of the value of the item he sells. One day Thomas works for 5 hours. So it's going to be 12 times 5. And he's paid a total of $82, including his bonus. So he's also paid a bonus of 5% of the value of items he sells. So plus 5% of X. X being value of items he sells. And this adds up to 82 because he's paid a total of $82. This $82 consists of the number of hours he's working, so payment for that, and then the bonus he's being paid for the items he sells. So 12 times 5 is 60. 5x over 100 equals to 82. Simplify that, that's 1 over 20. 1x over 20 equals to 82 minus 60. That's 22. So x is going to be 22 times 20. 22 times 2 is 44, add a 0, so 440. 440 is the value of the items that he sold on that day. Then you have a question on circle theorems. A, B, C, and D are points on a circle center O. EF is a tangent to the circle at A. Angle BAF is given as 65 degrees and angle AOD is 80 degrees. Find angle BCD. Give a geometrical property to explain each step of your working. BCD. This entire angle. Okay, so first thing, if I highlight triangle ACB, we can see that all three vertices are touching the circumference, which means we can use the alternate segment theorem over here. And according to the alternate segment theorem, this angle is going to be this angle. Hence, this is 65. Then, according to another circle theorem, angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. given that they're coming from the same segment. So the segment is DA. So angle at the center, which is AT, is twice the angle at the circumference, which is DCA. So that means this is going to be 80 divided by 2, and that's 40 degrees. So BCD is going to be 40 plus 65, which is 105. So now we write the reason for this. So first reason, angle ACB equals to 65 because of alternate segment theorem. And then angle DCA equals to 40 degrees because angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. These are your reasons for the given angles. Then we have a table with an equation. I have to complete the table and graph the given equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to substitute the value of 4 in the equation, find the corresponding y value. We can see that 4 cube and 4 times 4 square is also 4 cube. They're being subtracted, so that becomes a 0, and we left with plus 12. So simple as that. Now we plot the points, -2 and -12. That's over here. -1 and 7. 0, 12. 1, 9. 2, 4. 3, 3. 4, 12. This one is wrong. It's -1 and 7. So now let's plot this. That is your graph. Use your graph to solve the equation x cubed minus 4x squared plus 12 equals to 0. So we just draw a line at y equals to 0. There's nothing different about the equation. That is your x-axis, and that gives us a value of -1.5. That's your value of x. Then by drawing a suitable line on the grid, find the roots of the equation x cubed minus 4x squared plus x equals to 4. So if we compare this with this one, we can see that we have an extra x being added and we are subtracting 8, which means when you take it to the other side, it's going to be negative x plus 8. So that is the equation of the straight line that you will sketch on this graph. And then you will see what are the intersection points between the line and the curve. So we have y equals to negative x plus 8. Y-intercept is positive 8, so let's mark that over here. For other coordinate, what we can do is we can put x equals to 1. So negative 1 plus 8, and that gives us a 7. That is another point. So now we draw a line that passes through the 2 points. That's your line. And now we see what are the 3 solutions. So this one is negative 0.8. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1.55. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.45. So these are the 3 solutions that I'm getting for the intersection between the line and the curve. Then moving on, it says expand and simplify. So we're expanding a double bracket but with surds. So the expansion is going to be the same as we do when we have variables. 3 gets multiplied with 1 and 4 root 2. And root 2 gets multiplied with 1 and 4 root 2. So that's 3 times 1 plus 4 root 2 plus root 2 times 1 plus 4 root 2. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 root 2 is 12 root 2. You multiply the 3 with the number that's outside the root, not the one that's inside. Root 2 times 1 is root 2, because anything multiplied by 1 is the number. And then root 2 times 4 root 2 is 4 root 2 squared. Like we say 3 times 3 is 3 squared. Root 2 times root 2 is going to be root 2 squared. Now 12 root 2 plus root 2 is 13 root 2. Just imagine that the root is a variable, let's say x. So 12x plus x is 13x. Similarly, 12 root 2 plus root 2 is 13 root 2. When you're adding and subtracting surds, make sure that the number inside the root is exactly the same. If it's not the same, then you cannot add or subtract them. Plus 3, and root 2 being squared is going to be 2. Because root and a square are the opposite of each other, so they cancel themselves out. So that's 13 root 2 plus 3 plus 8 and 13 root 2 plus 11. That is your fully expanded and simplified answer. Then they're asking us to rationalize the denominator. So to rationalize the denominator, we're going to multiply and divide the surd by the denominator, but with the opposite sign in the middle. So 1 minus root 7, 1 minus root 7. The main reason behind rationalizing the denominator is that we're trying to get rid of the surd from the denominator. So you can only get rid of the surd from the denominator when you're multiplying it by the denominator, but with the opposite sign in the middle. So that's going to be 1 minus root 7 in the numerator, and the denominator is going to be 1 plus root 7 times 1 minus root 7. We don't cancel these out. We need these over here. That's why we introduce them in the equation. If you cancel them out in the next step, then you're going back to the question. You're not making any difference. So in the denominator, we're going to use difference of perfect squares. Which is a square minus b square equals to a minus b times a plus b. So over here, our A is 1 and B is root 7. So we can just directly rewrite this as 1 square minus root 7 square. If you want to expand the brackets and then simplify, that's also fine. But the shortcut is using difference of perfect squares. So 1 minus root 7 over 1 minus 7, because root 7 being squared is 7. So that's 1 minus root 7 over negative 6. So that's negative 1 over 6 plus root 7 over 6. That is your rationalized denominator. As you can see, initially we had a third in the denominator. Now we don't. So it's been rationalized. Then we have two similar triangles. It says triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. It says triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Calculate PR. So first we figure out the scale factor by which the shape is increasing in size. So 6 is turning into a 9. So scale factor is going to be the new length divided by the old length. So that's 3 out of 2. So that means AC is becoming PR. So for that, we're going to multiply 7 by 3 over 2, which makes it 21 over 2, which becomes 10.5 centimeters. So you can leave it as 21 over 2 or convert it into decimals. Either way, it's going to be correct. And then area of the triangle ABC is 16 centimeters square. Calculate the area of the triangle PQR. So talking about the area and similar shapes, what we do is we square the scale factor and put it equal to the ratio of the area. So we said that, let's say we talked about this. So PQ divided by AB being squared would equal to area of shape PQR divided by area of shape ABC. So scale factor is 3 over 2. And area of P is what we're trying to find. Area of ABC is 16. So 9 square over 4, cross multiply the 16. 4 ones are 4, this is 4. 9 times 4 is 36. So 36 centimeters square is the area of triangle PQR. Just remember, when talking about just the length, you just find the scale factor by dividing the new length by the old length. But when you talk about the area, you put the scale factor equal to the ratio of the areas and square the scale factor to find the area. When it's the volume, you will cube the scale factor and put it equal to the ratio of the volume. The diagram shows a solid cylinder and a solid hemisphere. The radius of the cylinder is equal to the radius of the hemisphere, and the volume of the cylinder is equal to the volume of the hemisphere as well. The height of the cylinder is 6 centimeters. We have to calculate the total surface area of the hemisphere, giving an answer in terms of pi. So volume of cylinder, that's pi r square h, and volume of hemisphere, 2 or 3 pi r cube. Let's put those equal to each other to find the value of r first. The pi is getting cancelled out. And we're left with 6 times 3 over 2 equals to r cubed divided by r square. These two get cancelled out because pi divided by pi is 1. So this is going to be 9, and this is going to be r. So radius is 9. We have to find the total surface area of the hemisphere. So we have the curved part and the flat part at the top. So total surface area is pi r square plus 4 pi r square, which is the surface area of a sphere, divided by 2. So we're getting 81 pi plus 81 times 2. So that's basically 3 pi times 9 square. So 9 square is 81. 81 times 3 is going to be 243. So 243 pi centimeter square is your answer. Remember to add the flat top in the total surface area as well. It's not just the curved part, it's the flat part at the top and the curved surface area at the bottom as well. Then evaluate 16 to the power of negative 304. So whenever we have a negative power and it's fractional or just even like a whole number, we have to make the power positive. To make the power positive, you take the reciprocal of the base. So it becomes 1 over 16 to the power of 3 over 4. We flip the base and the power becomes positive. Now 16 is 2 to the power of 4. You need to know like basic indices like what's 2 cubed, 2 to the power of 4, square numbers, cube numbers, all of that. So 1 over 2 to the power of 4, whole power 3 over 4. So whenever we have a power outside the bracket and inside the bracket, we always multiply the powers. So 4 gets multiplied with 3 over 4. So that's going to be 3 because 4 divided by 4 is 1. So 2 cube is 8. So 1 over 8 is your answer. Remember to make the power positive first because you cannot solve with the negative power without the calculator. So to make the power positive, you will take the reciprocal of the base, not the power, the base. So when you take the reciprocal of the base, the power becomes positive. Then you simplify your base, multiply the power which is outside the bracket, inside the bracket, and then simplify your fraction. Then write 9 squared times 3 to the power of negative 1 over 2 as a single power of 3. So same thing. 3 to the power of negative 1 over 2 becomes 1 over root 3. Or like 3 to the power of 1 over 2. Let me just write that. 3 to the power of positive 1 over 2. Now 9 is 3 square. So it's 3 square whole power 2 now. Power outside the bracket, inside the bracket get multiplied. And whenever we have same bases being divided, we subtract the powers. So that's going to be 3 whole number, 7 over 2. That is your answer. So this is like basic rules of indices. When similar bases are being divided, we subtract the powers. When there's a power inside the bracket and outside the bracket, you multiply them. And to make a power positive, you flip the base. Then we have question functions. It says f of x equals to ax plus 3 and g of x is x plus b whole square. Find the inverse of f of x. So for that, we put the function equal to y first. Then we swap the x and y. And now we have to make y the subject of the equation. So we take the 3 to the other side, it becomes x minus 3. And then we divide it by a. So now y is the subject of the equation. So your inverse is going to be x minus 3 over a. Then g of f of x equals to 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. A and b are positive integers. Find the value of a and b. So now we're going to use the original functions to create a composite function for g of f of x and compare that with the given function to find the values of a and b. So g of f of x means that we are putting f of x in the x of g. So I'll show you how. It's going to be g of f of x plus b whole square. Wherever there is x, we're going to write f of x. So that's g of ax plus 3 plus b whole square. We replaced the x with f of x. Let me remove the g over here. So that's going to be ax plus 3 plus b times ax plus 3 plus b. We're going to expand the bracket. So a square x square plus 3ax plus abx, then 3ax plus 9 plus 3b plus abx plus 3b plus b square. Collect the like terms now. We have 6ax over here, 2abx, 6b plus 9 and b square. So now we compare the similar terms. 9 is equal to a square, which means a is going to be 3. It's at positive integers, so we take the positive value of root 9, not the negative one. Then for b, we can use this and this. So we can compare the coefficients of x. 24 equals to 6a plus 2ab. A is 3. So replace the a with 3. 24 minus 18 and then divided by 6. That's going to be 1. So a is 3 and b is 1. These are your values. So remember, create your composite function first, simplify it, collect the like terms, and then compare it with the given equation. The coefficients of x squared can be put equal to each other to find the value of a. Then the coefficients of x can be put equal to each other to find the value of b. You can also put the constants equal to each other, but that would be a quadratic equation. That would be more lengthy. But you can also do that. That's also fine. There's no restriction on that. Then your question on vectors. It says OPQR is a parallelogram. Vector OP is A and vector OR is 2B. M is the midpoint of QR. N is a point on PQ and PN is to NQ is 1 is to 3. Find as simply as possible in terms of A and or B, MQ. So if M is the midpoint of QR and it's parallelogram, OP will be the same as RQ, which is A. So RM is going to be A over 2, and so will MQ. So MQ is A over 2. In a parallelogram, opposite lines are going to be the same. So that's why vector OP is the same as vector RQ. Then NM, so this is A over 2. This is A over 2. You have the ratio for PN is to NQ. We can find PQ first. That's PO plus OR plus RQ. PO is going to be negative A because we're changing the direction. So when you change the direction, the sign changes. And OR is 2B. RQ is A. So that's 2B. Same as OR. So if we find NQ, because I'm going to use NQ plus QM to find NM, that's going to be 3/4 of PQ, which is 3/4 of B, which is 3/4 of 2B. So that's 3 over 2 times B. So NM is going to be NQ plus QM. 3 over 2 times B plus A over 2. That is your vector NM. Minus A over 2. Because MQ is positive A over 2, so QM is going to be negative because we change the direction. Then line OP is extended to point X. M and X is a straight line. Find the position vector of X. So this is X. For the position vector of x, what we can do is we can compare this triangle to this one. Both are similar to each other. To this one. Both are similar to each other. So we can say that NQ was 3b over 2. So Pn is going to be 1 over 2b. So if they're similar, that means each length is enlarged by the same scale factor. So you can find the scale factor using Pn and NQ. For the scale factor, we divide NQ by Pn. So that's 3b over 2 divided by 1 over 2b. That's 3. That's your scale factor. Px is similar to Qm. So for Px, we divide Qm by 3. Qm was A over 2. That's A over 6 now. So OX is going to be A plus A over 6. So that's 7A over 6. That is your position vector for point X. So for these type of questions, you need to identify if there are any similar shapes. We have two similar triangles, PXN and then QMN. And then we have to identify the scale factor, which was 3. We compare two corresponding lengths, divide the bigger one by the smaller one to find the scale factor, and then use that to find the missing length that we need to find the position vector. Then Ad and Maha make cards. One day they each work for 4 hours making cards. Ad takes X minutes to make one card. Show that the number of cards Ad makes in 4 hours given by 240 over X. So they're taking 4 hours to make a card, and she's taking X minutes. So 1 hour has 60 minutes. So to convert the 4 hours into minutes, we do 4 times 60. That is 240 minutes. So she's taking X minutes to make one card. So in 4 hours, it's going to be 240 divided by X. Because if X minutes are spent to make one card, to find the number of cards made in 4 hours, we divide 4 times 60 by X. Then Maha takes 2 minutes less than Ad to make one card. Maha and Ad make a total of 70 cards in 4 hours. Form an equation, show how it simplifies to 7x squared minus 62x plus 48 equals to 0. So she takes 2 minutes less. So that's going to be 240 over x minus 2, because if Ad is taking x minutes, she's taking 2 minutes less. So this is Maha's time. Total is still the same because they're both working 4 hours, so the 240 remains the same. So they're making a total of 70 cards. So 240 over x plus 240 over x minus 2 equals to 70, because this is showing us the number of cards. When you're adding or subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, we have to make the denominator same. So I multiply the first fraction by x minus 2 and the second fraction by x. That's 240 times x minus 2 over x times x minus 2 plus 240x over x times x minus 2. To 40x minus 480 plus 240x, combined as a single fraction, 240x plus 240x's for 80x. Cross multiply to get to the fraction. (70x² minus 140x). Collect everything on the right-hand side. We can divide everything by 10, and that gives us 7x² minus 62x plus 48. That is your quadratic equation. It's also given in the question. Then we have to factorize it. So to factorize, you can use the quadratic formula or the middle term breakage. So to factorize this, I'm going to use the middle term breakage. So we multiply the quotient of x² with a constant. That gives us a value of 336. Now we have to find factors of 336, which we can use to replace the middle term. So one factor is 7 times 48. Other is 1 times 336. We can divide 336 by 16. We need big numbers. So if we divide it by 3, that's 112 times 3. That doesn't work. If we divide it by 6, it's 56 times 6. So 56 plus 6 also gives us 62. So this is the pair of factors that we're going to use. So we'll replace negative 62x with negative 56x minus 6x. Everything else comes as it is. In this question, they give, keeping in mind that this is non-calculated, they give a very big number, which is 336 over here. So you'll take some time in finding factors for that, but try to use smaller numbers first, like 2, 3, 6, 4, like that, and see which one gives you factors which add up to, or we can subtract, and that gives us 62. So we have 7x common between the first two terms, so x minus 8 over here, and we have negative 6 common over here. So x minus 8 times 7x minus 6. One value is 8 and the other is 6 out of 7. So work out the number of cards Maha makes in 1 hour. So in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. So 60 over x minus 2. Now we can't use 6 over 7 over here because 6 over 7 minus 2 will be 6 minus 14 over 7. We can't have a negative number of cards. Hence, we'll use x equals to 8. So 60 over 8 minus 2, which is 6, and that's 10 cards. Remember, they're saying work out the number of cards Maha is making in 1 hour, not in 4 hours. So 4 hours was 240 over x minus 2. 1 hour is going to be 60 over x minus 2. And then the last question is on 3D trigonometry. So the diagram shows a square base pyramid. X is the center of the square base. Vertex E is vertically above X and EX is 7 centimeters. The perpendicular height of the triangle BEC is 11 centimeters. We have to work out the length of the base of the pyramid. So this is 11. This is 7. So if you notice, this is a right angle triangle, which I've drawn very badly. Let me just, yep, that looks better. So this is your right angle triangle, E, X, and I'm called this F. And I'm going to call this F. So this is 11. This is the perpendicular height of the triangular face, but the slant height of the pyramid. And this is 7. So we need this xf because that's going to be half of the base. So you can easily use Pythagoras over here. We have a right angle triangle. Two lengths are given. You have to find the other one. That's 121. That's 49. You need to know your basic square numbers. 121 minus 49. That's equal to 72. So the square root of 72 is xf. So now xf is half of AB. So AB is going to be 2 times root of 72. But they want the answer as a certain simplest form. So we have to prime factorize 72. 72 is 6 times 12. 6 is 3 times 2. 12 is 4 times 3. And 4 is 2 times 2. So that's 3 squared times 2 cube. 3 squared comes outside as 3. And 2 cube is 2 squared times 2. So 2 squared comes outside as 2. So we're left with 2 inside. That's 12 root 2 centimeters. That is the length of the base of the pyramid as a third in its simplified form. If you just give it as 2 root 72, you won't get full marks. They will deduct 1 mark because they want the answer as a simplified third. And with that, we're done with this paper. If you have any questions or confusions, please leave a comment below and I'll help you out. If you understood everything, please like and subscribe, share this video with your friends. And don't forget to check out the other videos in this playlist along with the channel because I have this topic playlist which shows similar questions that come in your O-level paper 1.